When a child is born, and that first moment when the baby is set on the mother's chest or when handed to dad is one like no other. A bond is made that is unbreakable, a sense of love like no other, and a responsibility that will last a lifetime. But then there is the question that always arises: what is the proper way to discipline my child? A very difficult question, as a way it is handled will greatly shape a child's future. Good evening, everybody. Today I'm here to talk to you about stopping corporal punishment as a form of discipline, as its negative effects it has on a child will last a lifetime. In the advancement of child psychology, we've come to learn that corporal punishment is a harmful disciplining technique that, apart from physical harm, it causes emotional damage in children and brings them negative personality traits and behavior. First, let's talk about some reasons why corporal punishment is such a big deal. Primarily, it is still considered and used by many as the primary disciplining technique by many Americans today and around the world. In fact, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, more than 90% of Americans admitted to spanking their child at one point. 85% wished they knew an alternate method to spanking, and 54 said that spanking was the wrong thing to do, and at least half the times it was used. So obviously, there is a want out there to know something else other than spanking. Next, and the most obvious effect of spanking, is the possibility of actually causing physical harm to the child. Again, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, corporal punishment is more likely to be used when parents are angry, irritable, depressed, fatigued, or stressed, and more than 50% of parents said they hit their child out of frustration and had lost it. With the previous factors and the fragility of a child, it is very possible for the parent to go beyond and very possibly severely injure the child, even take their life. And finally, corporal punishment is still widely used and accepted, but awareness needs to spread on the use of alternate techniques of discipline as they yield far better long-term results. As you can see, there's a real need for people to understand the dangers involved with hitting a child. Now that you understand this needs, let's talk some of the things we can do to change the problem. Today in age, the world is completely different from what it was 50 years ago. When people wanted advice, the only people they could get it from was their immediate family members, a few close friends and neighbors. Now we live in a technically connected and social world where everything we ever wanted to know is in our reach. With computers, smartphones, and tablets, and a few strokes of our keyboard, a wealth of knowledge can be acquired. Thousands of research papers and books are available, each and every one peer-reviewed, so you know whether something works or not. And it is an excellent form to begin our journey into child development way before we even consider our first child. If we already have a few but would like to build upon what we already know, or even if we never plan on having children but still want the knowledge. It is an excellent form of educating ourselves and whoever will be taking our place in the future. Furthermore, children who are hit don't learn to properly resolve conflict and think hitting is an acceptable form of handling situations. When we talk through a problem with the child, they learn alternate ways of resolving conflict and learn what is wrong and right instead of making decisions merely out of fear of punishment. So when we begin noticing the change in our children and how they're responding and understanding, beginning to grow to what they are doing and begin making self-motivated decisions out of their own will and not over fear, it will be a reward in and of itself to see that growth, knowing that we are helping set the foundation that will help them in the future. Also, everything we implement and teach our children now will hopefully continue through their lives and on to the next generation when they raise their children. It's easy to say, well, this is how my parents disciplined me, but wouldn't it be better if we educate ourselves first off? Children are definitely no walk in the park, and neither should disciplining them be either, as the entire world would reap the benefits of more children raised this way. After seeing some positives of stopping corporal punishment, here are some negative effects that can occur if we don't. Spanking usually yields results in the short term. You hit the child when he shows whatever bad behavior and he stops. But no proof exists that there are any long-term positive effects associated with hitting the child. There's no guarantee that the undesired action won't be committed again. On the contrary, corporal punishment can lead to a number of negative traits in the future, including aggression, antisocial behavior, quality of parent-child relationship, mental health, and adult abusive behavior, as stated by Gershoff. Also, according to Lopez, Bonenberg, and Schneider, children don't learn moral values from spankings, and their judgments later in life could be affected by making decisions out of fear of punishment instead of thinking about what is right and what is wrong. It can also lead to children learning ways around the parents and begin to avoid getting caught and lying of fear of getting hit. Every parent should have an understanding of cause and effect and the future implications they may have in order to raise a child more intelligently, so the form of discipline that will be used can be the most effective for both the parent and the child. And just to remember, these are just some of the negative effects in a laundry list for your consideration. Now you know the dangers involved with corporal punishment. Let's review them real quick again. Let's all stand together and decide it's time to move away from the old ways and realize the negative effects of children being put through corporal punishment, and learn there are other forms of discipline that we can all begin incorporating and sharing with one another. By doing this, we will begin building the best and most important bond with our children that will last our lifetime and through theirs. So today, I challenge you to pick up a book and put down a hand and be open-minded of the bountiful methods of disciplining your child. Thank you.